What is up, guys? It is Dillo. This isn't exactly a podcast or the podcast. I'll probably be recording that sometime this week. I'm sorry that I've been away. I've been busy with just personal stuff, and I haven't been in the right mindset. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to depress you guys with that information. Just know that I'm currently working on that, and getting better as we speak. But I also wanted to make this because there's going to be a little bit of an update to the podcast. So the first two episodes plus the predictions have been strictly all about MMA, and they'll continue to be. They'll always continue to be primarily a MMA podcast first. But to keep me from getting burnt out of talking about something that I love and potentially becoming burnt out of that thing that I love, I'm going to talk about some other things on the podcast too. So, I'll cover a couple of events per podcast. And in between those segments, I'll talk about stories I've gone through in my life or talk about topics I want to talk about. And don't worry, they're not going to be political for the most part. I don't want to get into any political jargon with anybody. That's not my cup of tea. That's not my shit. But I wanted to just add a new flavor to the podcast already just because I don't want to get burnt out halfway through recording, already talking about the events. At least this gives me a little bit of a break to just kind of do whatever. Gives the listeners a break if you're actually listening all the way through. Gives you guys a break, and you guys get a little bit of a different, vibe. It's not just I want to hear all the fucking shit that happened in the MMA world last week. I also want to hear some memes or some pop culture shit. We'll figure that all out. We'll even talk about video games, but I just wanted to add those tiny little breaks in between just because it's just going to keep me from getting burnt out, and it's probably for the best. So I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that the podcast will be coming back probably, if not this week, then the Sunday after UFC 252 for sure. Because if I don't end up finishing it this week, then I'm going to wait specifically for UFC 252 just to make the whole podcast for that and everything. And then I'll try to continue back on the steady schedule as I did before and give you guys the content you guys wanted. But I just want to make this little update for you guys to let you guys know what's going on, that I'm not going anywhere, the podcast is not going anywhere, and that I've been fucking lazy and just been dealing with some shit. So it's all on me, and I'm going to completely blame me. But I'm okay now. I'm gonna try to come back. If I don't come back this week, just remember it'll be UFC 252 Sunday, obviously, because that's a big event. It's Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier 3. That's a huge fucking thing on the line. It's not only the heavyweight title that's on the line, but this is going to prove who the best heavyweight on the planet right now is, and just this is for both guys' legacy. This is for DC to prove that he's the better heavyweight and that he was truly the double champ all along. And this is for Stipe to prove that he was truly the baddest heavyweight on the planet, and that the second fight with DC and how he ended up adjusting and knocking him out wasn't just a fluke on Daniel's part being negligent. And I don't think it was. So I'm excited for that fight. It's going to be a lot to talk about. There's some great fights on that card too. I know Sugar Sean O'Malley's coming back and everything. So there's going to be a lot to talk about on that card. Plus, like I said, if I don't come back this week coming, then it'll still give me time next week on UFC 252 weekend to talk about Derek Lewis and Alexei Olenek. So there's that. But anyway, I just wanted to leave you guys with that so you guys weren't sitting here like, what the fuck happened to the podcast? Like, this guy never fucking commits to YouTube. I know, I never fucking do, man. But this time I will. Just had to deal with some shit and had to kind of just methodically plan this out just to kind of not come back sloppily. I had to properly plan this out. I did try to record earlier this week, but it just came out absolutely fucking terrible, and I just did not want to put that out there. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to come back when I'm not still feeling burnt out and when I've properly planned this out and I'm ready. So, yeah. I hope you guys, listen through the whole thing. I hope you guys enjoy listening to the podcast as well. I'll keep doing them, obviously. This is what this is for. And that was just to let you guys know what's been going on in my life. I'm great. I'm getting into a better place now, doing things that need to keep me on the right path. And I hope everybody else that's listening to this is doing awesome too, because all of you deserve it. All of you are beautiful, and I love you all. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next podcast, hopefully.